All right. We ready to start? Okay. All right, welcome to high school and beyond. I'm Miss Wilmot. I'm one of the high school counselors, and Miss Woodward, you can see her online there. She is one of the other high school counselor, and we are going to be giving you a small little kind of overview of what it's going to look like to be in high school at STEM school, Highlands Ranch. So as I said, I'm Miss Woodward. I'm Miss Wilmot. That's Miss Woodward. I am so sorry. I'm reading on here. We also have a college and career counselor, Miss Lytle, and our counseling assistant is Miss Bradford. So if you need to have any of your questions answered, just reach out to one of us, and we can get those questions answered for you. If you're not sure who to ask, you can send a message through the communications on STEM, and they will make sure to get the question that you're asking to the correct individual. As we were saying, we are the members of the student support team. We also have social workers, Miss Nichols and Miss Sullivan are also still at the school, and so they're going to be helping you in this transition. Also, if you have questions about your classes, we do have the high school academic planning guide that answers a majority of your questions about any of the classes you want to take, the prerequisites that you have to take before you can take a certain class. That is going to be a really good resource for you to really get to know. Most of your questions about high school and about your classes can be answered through the academic planning guide. We also do a individual career and academic planning, which is the ICAP. I'm sure you've all heard of it, especially if you came from STEM, because you're going to be doing it. You've been doing it since 7th grade, and they are activities and programs that have been put together for you so that you can learn your learning, how best you learn, what kind of personality that you have that would fit with student careers later in life, and figuring out, what kind of vocation, what kind of degree you might want to get in college. And so that is your ICAP curriculum. What we're going to be talking about today is what are your required high school courses, your block scheduling, your teacher's expectations, developmental skills for success, earning course credit, high school graduation requirements, athletics and enrichments that we offer here at STEM school, specialized high school programs, and preparing for after high school. So let's talk about your credits and grades. In middle school, grades were important, but once you start your freshman year of high school, they're going to be on what we call a transcript. And I'm going to show you an example of your transcript here in a little bit. And as a freshman, your grades are going to start counting. So it's really important to start off in high school doing your best. You want to make sure, because when you're applying to college, your grades starting your first semester of freshman year are going to be on that piece of paper that you're going to be submitting to every college that you want to go to school at. A lot of jobs require your transcript. When you apply for a job, one of your first jobs, for entry-level jobs, they will ask for your transcripts. So please keep in mind that your credits, your transcript is something that's going to be moving forward. So you really want to try to start doing your best your freshman year. When we're looking at a credit, for each semester, every class is worth a 0.5 credits. So if you see here, your English class, it says English 1. And you know what I'm going to do? Because for whatever reason, Miss Wilmot didn't put it into the presentation mode. There we go. Looks much better now. Okay, and so then you have a 0.5 credit each semester. So since English is a year-long class, you're going to be getting 1.0 for the entire year. And so as you can see, you get a 0.5 for first semester, 0.5 for second semester, and then you get 1.0. If you happen to fail a class, you don't get any kind of credit for that class. It'll just be a 0 and you'll have to retake that class again. So let's try not to do that. If you take any CE classes, we will be talking about those later. They are actually college courses that you have the opportunity to take, and they can range anywhere from 1.0 credits up to 1.5 credits per semester. And so you'll be able to be getting more credits to go towards your graduation requirements with those college classes. Now, the concurrent enrollment, what we were talking about is the college level courses that you can take. The reason why we need, and I'm sure you've heard this, we need to have your parents sign off on it, and we need one of your teachers to be signing off if they feel that you're ready for concurrent enrollment, because it is a college level course. If you get a C- or higher, you will get the credit for a high school class. If you fail the class, however, if you've taken this course, the school has paid for you to take these classes. If you get a failing grade, your family will be charged for the amount of what that class costs. That can be anywhere between $400 and $750. So you have to be really sure that when you get into one of these CE courses that you are going to be doing your best, okay? Because that's kind of a bummer, getting a big bill because it just didn't work out. So make sure that you're sure when you take these classes. As you can see, if it's a 1 semester credit at the college level, you get a 0.5 credit on your high school transcript. If it's 2 to 3 semester credits, you get a 1-year high school credit. 4 semester credits for 1 semester would be 1.5 credits on your high school credit, and then on your transcript, and then 5 semester credits would be the equivalent of 2 years on your high school credit sheet, which means that you would have, it would fill in 4.5 of those credits for 1 semester, okay? So you're getting 2 years for 1 semester of work, okay? Just so that you kind of understand that a little bit. So calculating your grade point average. When you are calculating your grade point average, it's pretty important to know how you're doing this, because a lot of places when you're applying for colleges are going to ask you, what is your grade point average? And so for you to be able to figure that out is awesome. And so our unweighted is an A, you get a 4.0, B is a 3.0, C is a 2.0, D is a 1.0, and an F is a 0. If you have the weighted grades, which are your college classes, you can get, your A would count as a 5.0 because they are harder. So your A would count as a 5.0, a B would be a 4.0, a C would be a 3.0, and a D would be a 2.0, and F, like we said before, you get no credit for Fs. So let's say over here, you are, you have your semester 1. You are in world literature, you got an A, which is a 4.0. AP world history, because it's a college level course, if you see, you're with the B right here. Over here, a B is worth a 4.0. That's why it says 4.0 right there. Unweighted, it would be a 3.0. Honors trigonometry is not a college level course, so it would count as a unweighted 3.0. Chemistry an A, 4.0, French 2.0, CAD an A, 4.0, and PE a 4.0. So if you add up all of these in this column right here, that equals 25 points weighted, which is 7 classes, 25 points divided by 7 would equal a 3.57. Your unweighted would be 24 because you're adding up all of these, and that world history unweighted would be considered a 3.0 because it's a B, and then your GPA would, your unweighted GPA would be at a 3.42. So if you need additional help calculating this, it's easy, but it's not. And so counselors are always available to be able to help you figure those out. Like we said before, your weighted classes that you have are your advanced placement, which are your AP classes, and your concurrent enrollment classes. The difference between these two classes is that AP tends to be classes that are exactly the same across the entire United States. All students who are in the AP World History are having the same curriculum at the end of the year. They are going to be taking the exact same AP exam. You need to get a 3 or better on the AP exam at the end of the year to get your college credit. Some colleges actually require a 4 or better on that test, but you just have to check with your college to make sure which grade is which one they're going to accept. The advantage of AP versus concurrent enrollment is that if you are planning on going to an out-of-state school, the AP is going to be easier to follow you to out-of-state schools, so that when you're moving along to the next level and you decide you want to go somewhere on the East Coast, AP is going to be easier to transfer credits than the concurrent enrollment. Now, the advantage of concurrent enrollment, I love the concurrent enrollment system. When you are in a concurrent enrollment class, you are taking a college level class and in high school, and the grade that you earn there at concurrent enrollment is going to be the grade that's going to be on your high school transcript and on your college transcript. So you're working towards high school and college at the exact same time. So that's why when we were talking earlier about the concurrent enrollment, please make sure not only that if you don't pass a concurrent enrollment class and you're going to be charged, the disadvantage is that if you don't pass a concurrent enrollment class, it's also going to be on your college transcript. So that's why we're kind of really picky about making sure that your parents are fully aware that they know that you're in these concurrent enrollment classes. You have their approval, and the teachers agree also that you are ready for these college courses. Now, here's the really cool part of the concurrent enrollment. If you are going to a Colorado college, any of the state schools in Colorado, you have a guaranteed transfer of these classes to go towards college. So when you're taking your CE English classes, you will be taking your freshman level classes for English before you even start college at CSU, CU Boulder, any of those schools that you want to go to. So there's a lot of advantages. There's a few disadvantages, but I love the concurrent enrollment, especially if you're going to be going to school in Colorado. Okay, so let's talk about graduating. How many credits are you going to need to graduate from high school? All right, so here we have a I just drew a blank. We have a formula here that just shows you what all of your graduation requirements are. We have our minimum graduation requirements, which are in the first column here where it says minimum graduation, STEM scholar, and here are the higher education admission recommendations. Now, I'll just start with the one on the right just so that you can kind of see. These are what the state put out, where almost all of the schools, all of the colleges, these are the minimum requirements that they need for you to have before you apply for college. And so English, they have 4 years of English you have to take, 4 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, 1 year of foreign language, and then 2 general electives. And as you can see, as we move to the first column, we also have the 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 years of science, but we do require an additional half of a semester more of the social studies. So we require 3.5 years where they only require 3. World language, we do require 2 years rather than just 1. And the thing about our world language is that you need to have 2 years back to back of the same world language. So if you take Spanish and decide, hey, Spanish isn't for me, and you want to switch over to French, then you're going to have to take back to back French 1 and 2. So make sure that when you're starting that, you have to have 2 of the same language 2 years in a row, okay? STEM electives, which are science, technology, engineering, and math, we do require 3 electives or 3 years of those. 1 full year of fine art, 1 full year of physical education, which can be 2 physical education classes, or you can do 1 physical education class and 1 health class, and that'll also take care of your physical education credit. And then you need 2.5 years of general electives, which adds up to 24 total credits to get your regular STEM graduation diploma. We also offer the STEM Scholar graduation requirement. Everything is the same except for 2 categories. We need you to have 7 total credits in your STEM electives, and then, oh my goodness. And then 4.5 in the general electives. So those are just some little things that your counselors are going to be helping you keep track of. That's when we sit down and figure out your classes that you're going to be taking through the years. And some of you sat down with Miss Nichols and Miss Sullivan after school at the end of last semester, beginning of this semester, I believe it was, and you guys were figuring out how to fill out those credit sheet forms and building a 4-year plan. We'll be helping you do that in high school also. So why STEM Scholar? Because we are a STEM school, we really put an emphasis on our science, technology, engineering, and math. And so making sure you graduate with the honors, it means that you're excelling in those categories, in addition to having a minimum of 3.0 GPA and completing 100 hours of community service. And you have to have taken at least one or two, have taken an AP and or CE courses. So you have to take 2 of those. So you can have an AP course or CE course, 2 AP courses or 2 CE courses, but you have to have 2 of one or the combination of to be able to become STEM Scholar. You do not have to take AP classes or CE classes to be able to just get our general diploma. Now, with our standard diploma program, I just mentioned to you that we have 100 hours of community service for STEM Scholar. For our standard diploma, you are required to still do community service, and you have to complete 20 hours of service within your 4 years. So if you break that down, you know, each of your 4 years, you would only have to do 5 hours a year, which is very doable. You know, 5 hours would be working one day a year for somebody. Super simple. If you need help trying to find volunteer opportunities, just let us know. We've also put a link on our website to the district, and it's not the Colorado, it's not Douglas County School District, it's just Douglas County, and they actually have a list of volunteer opportunities within Douglas County that you can connect with. And so it's a really great resource for you to try to find those. And we also offer opportunities through the school, so just check in with us and we'll let you know what you need to do to complete those hours. We do have the demonstrated competency. Now this is a new Colorado state standard that they put together about a year or 2 ago. And we are now having to have students graduate with these things in place. Now, the cool thing is that you don't have to do every single one of these things that you see on here. You have to do 2. You have to do 1 from the English category down in that column and 1 from the mathematics category. So you're going to have plenty of opportunities to be able to make those at STEM. We do offer the AccuPlacer for our CE classes. We do have, if you take AP classes and you score a 2 or above on your testing, we have the concurrent enrollment district capstone, which is going to be, if for whatever reason you don't make any of these others and you need to do your district capstone, that is actually part of our senior level English class. So you will for sure be able to complete that within that category. And so we have so many different opportunities for you to be able to graduate on time through STEM. And we will make sure that you have made these graduation requirements as we are walking you through your high school years. Here's your transcript as we were talking at the beginning of the presentation. This is an example of what your transcript is going to look like. This individual is if you can see, right here, 9th grade year, and instead of having 0.5, these have 0.25. So that's why they do it by quarter. So there's going to be 4 here. On yours, you're going to have 2. And right here where it says credit, it's going to say 0.5. And so as you can see, every single class that you get is going to be on this piece of paper. It's going to show you your grade point average. All right. Our school does not do a class rank. And so if somebody asks you about ranking, you can just tell them that STEM school does not put you in a ranking system. and then so that you'll always know what your GPA is, as well as you can see on the piece of paper. So by doing the best that you can, this is going to be your permanent record, so that if you have, instead of right here, honors English, and you have a D here, that's going to be on your transcript forever. Okay, so when you present this to a school, it's not going to say all A's and B's. It's going to reflect what grades you actually do get. And so we really encourage you to do the best you can, starting very, very early at STEM. And we want you to be as successful as possible, because we want you to be able to achieve your dreams and your ambitions and go to exactly where it is that you want to go when you get to your senior year. When I spoke earlier about, some of you have already seen this with Miss Nichols and Miss Sullivan, this is the credit sheet. We keep track of your credits. We will have a copy of this online that you can make a copy of through Google Docs, so that if you'd like to sit down and formulate your own four-year plan, that can just kind of change and kind of morph into however you want it to look as you start getting different ideas and taking classes you might get better interests in. But as you can see, each one of these white boxes counts for a semester. So we have 8 semesters or 4 years of credits for language arts. So as you pass each of your classes, these are going to get filled in by the counseling department to keep track of if you're on track for graduation. Okay, but like I said, you are more than welcome to make a copy of this and to be able to keep track of how you want to see your 4 years go and kind of make a plan. You're also able to make appointments with the counseling center or with us, so that we can help you sit down and kind of give you a rough draft of what we think, or what you think you want your next 4 years to look like. All right, so it's time for Miss Woodward to go for the next part of the presentation. I'm so happy that you guys have chosen STEM school and to remain with us, and we look forward to starting your freshman year with you next year.
All right, so in high school, we run on a block schedule, so you'll have 4 classes each day. Your even number classes will be on blue days, odd number classes will be on gold days. The schedule for next year is Mondays and Wednesdays will be blue days, Tuesday, Thursday, gold days, and then Friday will switch every week. One week it'll be blue, the next week it'll be gold. You'll have an advisement every week, just once a week. You'll have study hall either 2 or 3 times a week, depending on the week. And of course, you'll have lunch every day. If you ever need help with something, have questions, the counselors are always available. Your teacher offers office hours, and you can get help from your study hall supervisors. There will be teachers in each study hall that are there to answer questions. And we offer some after-school tutoring. We have a few sports at STEM. For men, we have soccer, lacrosse, basketball. For women, we have volleyball. And co-ed sports include cross country, golf, cheer and spirit, ultimate frisbee, and mountain biking. So we have some pretty unique options there too. Some more enrichment opportunities. I'll highlight, we have National Honor Society, Sources of Strength, which is a great peer-led group that focuses on student body mental health. We have robotics, game club, girls in STEM, DECA, TSA is very popular, and they compete in competitions every year and do pretty well every year. Fun things like fencing and sewing club. There's a lot to get involved in, and it's a great way to make friends. And if you get enough students involved, and if you find a teacher sponsor, you could even start your own club. All right, so some STEM offers many programs to get you ready for college life and career life. So like Miss Wilmot was explaining, we have the concurrent enrollment or dual enrollment classes. We also have something called the Career Mentor Program, and that is a program for sophomores through seniors, and it places students with mentors in career fields that they're interested in. And the student basically gets to shadow them and learn from that career expert. We also have internships that are offered for juniors and seniors. Some of them are paid, some are unpaid. And CareerWise is a program that pairs our students with, or puts our students in paid internships and apprenticeships. And those are a 3-year commitment program. And last year has to be, you have to dedicate a year after graduating from high school if you want to do that program. And P-TECH. Did we talk about P-TECH yet? No, I don't think we did. So P-TECH is a 6-year program. You can start as early as a freshman, and STEM pairs with mechatronics industry in the community. And throughout your high school career, you'll take classes that prepare you for the mechatronics field. And by the time you graduate high school, you'll graduate with your high school diploma and an associate's degree in mechatronics. So that's a really great program as well. So besides those things, and besides your typical college, we can also help you prepare for 2-year colleges. A lot of students will start at a 2-year college, get their associate's degree, get their prereqs all done, and then move to a 4-year college. We also offer military opportunities and career and technical trainings, such as tech schools, specific and specialization programs, apprenticeships, and certifications. And if you're ever interested in or have college and career questions, like Ms. Wilmot said, we have an awesome college and career counselor, Ms. Lydahl, and she is great. She knows everything, so she will help you with any questions that you have. So colleges look at the whole student when they're picking students to come to their colleges. So it's not just your GPA, it's not just your grades. However, they do look at those. So they'll take your test scores, whether you take the ACT or SAT, they'll take your GPA and class rank, even though STEM does not rank. And they'll look at the classes that you took, how rigorous of classes you took, what kind of classes you took to get you prepared for a certain major. A lot of schools ask for essays in their applications. They'll have a specific question that you write, or that you prepare an answer for. Letters of recommendation from your teachers, counselors, outside employers, people like that. Resumes, as you start to build your resume, it could be jobs that you have throughout high school, volunteer hours, extracurriculars that you're involved in. In high school, we really like our students to become independent and advocate for themselves and learn how to take ownership of their learning and their grades. So to do that, we want to make sure that you guys are prepared and on time and ready for each class. Checking your grades regularly on Canvas. And if you're not sure what Canvas is, we'll talk about that a little later. Talking to your teachers regularly about your grades. Keeping track of your credits each semester, so making sure that you're on track to graduate, making sure you're getting all your math credits done, your English credits done, things like that. Attending teacher office hours. If you're ever confused about an assignment, you need to make up an assignment that you missed, you're confused about a grade, things like that. That is a great time to ask your teachers about that. We also want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. STEM is a more rigorous high school than other high schools, and it can be overwhelming sometimes. So counselors and teachers and staff are there to help you if you ever need help balancing your academics and mental health. Some other tips for success for you all. We want you to learn self-awareness, self-motivation, problem solving and planning ahead skills. I already talked about most of these, but I do want to highlight ways to keep organized. A lot of your, if not most, all of them, if not most, will be assigned through Canvas, so they're all going to be electronic. So it can be easy to forget about some assignments. It's really helpful for a lot of students to keep a planner and write down all your assignments. You can also make reminders to yourself through Canvas, or a lot of students also put reminders on their phones. All right, so Canvas, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is an online platform where teachers assign and grade all of your assignments and tests. So you might have homework that's assigned on there, and then you have to turn it in through Canvas. You'll see each assignment grade on Canvas. It lets you know when assignments are due. So checking that daily is very important for you all. It helps you organize and prioritize your assignments and keeps you on track. Our communications department made some tutorials for parents and students, and that walks you through how to set it up and how to use it. This presentation will be posted on the STEM website later, so you can get those links at that time when it's posted. And the STEM website has everything and anything that you need to know. So if we didn't answer some questions or you need some more information, you can always visit the STEM website. And I believe now we're going to hear from some teachers and admin that would like to speak about some of their classes that they offer in high school. Mr. Ryan, we can start with you.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Ryan. I teach some of the tech courses at STEM school. And the ones I specifically teach are based around IT. The entry-level course is called Computer Technician 1 and 2. It's meant for beginners to intermediate students, and think of it like a Geek Squad type class. You just take apart electronics, rebuild them, and see if they work. It's a lot of fun. It's very hands-on. It is a college-level course, but it's beginner-friendly. It builds to be to a class called Networking, then Linux, and the final one is called Certified Ethical Hacker. We have a gaming course or a gaming pathway that starts with two-dimensional gaming with Unity, that we then switch to three-dimensional, and our flagship with that is one called Studio, Gaming Studio, where you mix with fine art students, and then we have coders, and you build games. The third tier that we have is purely coding. It starts with Python. If you've never coded before, Introduction to Programming is the one I'd recommend. If you have coded and you're looking for a little bit of a challenge, but not a huge one, then an APCS Principles. If you know a lot about coding and you're ready for the deep end, I'd say APCSA, that's Java. Some of our more advanced courses are having to do with machine learning with Python. We also now have a course in databases as well. So we have a pretty wide gamut and we cover a lot, but we're beginner friendly, and we also have some pretty advanced courses. So if you have questions, reach out to myself, Mr. Leon, or any tech teacher. So thank you very much.
Karen, did you want to add anything?
Sure. I am Karen Johnson, the Director of Curriculum and Accountability. Just want to reach out and welcome you all to the STEM family. And please let us know. We're always taking ideas from students regarding the courses and the academic program that we have. So let us know if you have some ideas, or in the future, if there's something that you're really wanting to learn more about, and we can entertain that. So welcome.
And we did, just let you guys know, we did have more teachers on the parent night last night. So if you want to hear from more teachers and about their classes, you can check out the Zoom call that will be posted on the STEM website later and watch that again. All right, well, I think that concludes it. We can stick around for a couple minutes in case you guys have any questions. And thank you for coming, and we're excited to meet you in person. Hopefully that happens next semester. Thanks, Cameron and Karen.
Each class is still 50 minutes, right, guys? That's a question. 50-ish. No? Is it longer than that, Dr. Johnson?
Aren't they 90?
We have a block
Not
schedule.
50, 90.
90 minutes.
Sorry, everyone, 90 minutes.
All right, so I guess if we don't have any other questions, we look forward to seeing you next semester. Make sure you reach out to us. You can find our emails on the STEM website, or like I said, you can ask questions to the communications, and she'll make sure that the question gets to the proper individual. And it looks like we have, has any information come out on registering for AID and CE classes? Yes, when we came around and did all of the registration last semester, we did touch on that. If you have specific questions about maybe wanting to take a CE class now that you have seen this presentation, and you may have changed your mind a little bit about what you want to maybe take, why don't you reach out to Mr. Ryan, myself, or Miss Woodward, and we can answer those questions specifically for you and see if that's something that you want to add to your requested courses, because we can actually add additional requested courses. We can't guarantee you would get into them at this point in time, but at least we can put it on there so that you at least have the opportunity to try to get the class.
Would specific questions about AID, like going through the application process, like if she's already registered for one, go to Miss Dugan?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
That would work too. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. We look forward to seeing you. We are always available. And you guys can reach out to us separately. And Isabel. Oh, that was from Miss Nichols. If you have any additional questions, reach out to her or one of us, and we'll definitely get that question answered for you. Okay. All right. Thank you all. And we will see you next year.